according to Kotaku, coronavirus has affected the fighting game community in Walker. I guess the guys are trying to beat up people, can't touch people. So there's that. From based on stuff I would guess. The fact that there's huge gatherings, like, is going to affect paychecks. I bet you can still do it virtually. Let's see what they said. Work from home. I mean, I think Mortal Kombat 11. There you go. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 11's online. The Tekken 7 exhibition was scaled down from after two players from South Korea out to stay home instead of travel to Japan. SK World Championship for Samurai Showdown and King of Fighters 14 has postponed indefinitely after being scheduled for late March. North Carolina, California, previously scheduled for weekend April 10 tournament has been canceled. I mean, stay of the fighting scene. I'm trying to remember if that was the one with that feature on YouTube before. Despite its, according to Kotaku, despite its host city, Santa Clara is issuing an order to cancel mass gatherings, specific language in the tournament's contract with the Hilton Hotel venue has led to the brink of litigation, according to LaChoy. The litigation, I'm assuming, presents another monetary hit NorCal regionals cannot afford. They could, according to Kotaku, have California Governor Gavin Newsom extend the state of emergency as banning of large gatherings in April. Anything less will have a dissolution of NorCal regionals. They said they could try to recover next year, according to Choi. It was over for good. He doesn't have $50,000 to spare. I guess that's the thing, the mass gatherings rule. But yeah, it's a health thing. It's not comfortable being there, etc. Like, I'm not saying they're a big company, but like definitely big corporations, like in arenas where like chairs are uncomfortable, like they take advantage of people who go to these gatherings. It'll probably affect Overwatch and esports, like the ones that was at the Barclays Center. We were waiting for the hotel to release us from the contract. Michigan Masters organizer Mia the Icy Glacian Martin announced on Twitter a few hours ago, which was like yesterday or a couple days ago. According to Kotaku, earlier this week, Michigan had implemented the same measures as California in response to COVID-19, leaving organizers of the Michigan Masters on the hook for the venue and unable to cancel the event with fear of running the same penalties threatening NorCal regionals. This morning, however, Governor Gretchen Whitmer ordered a temporary ban of gatherings. Over 250 people given the opportunity to get the contract with the Delta Hotel. A lot of people they were suffering from, according to Kotaku, they were suffering from refund requests and people not wanting to show up to these gatherings because like they didn't want to be in a public space like that, exposing themselves to the coronavirus if it is there. CEO Dreamland, a Smash-centric tournament held by community effort Orlando organizer Alex Jabali, still plans going forward this weekend. Florida has not instituted plans. Very recently, a TSA worker in Orlando has tested positive for coronavirus. There's no way for Dreamland to get out of Wyndham Orlando Resort's contract without overwhelming penalties. event has been beset by refunds and additional fees of almost $70,000 for the venue for failing to meet promised booking numbers, according to Jabrelli to African Nation. CEO did not ask and did not return Kotaku's request for comment. Many fighting game tournaments only profit enough to survive till next year, according to Kotaku writer Ken Walker. In response, there's a popular movement growing on social media to encourage fighting game players who can spare cash to not request refunds from these struggling events to help them stay afloat. AKA, like, if they can afford, if they're a pro fighting game player, they are encouraged not to give refunds so that the event can still go on, and then there'll be more events next year. The main person, the fighting game community is, according to the Kotaku, who interviewed Choi, as I mentioned earlier in the article, the fighting game community is suffering as a whole, and I really wish everyone the best these tough times. I think that this will dramatically change the landscape going forward and will force tournament organizers to putting no refund clauses in registration to mitigate situations like this, no matter what happens. I'm thankful for having the opportunity to take my love of playing Street Fighter and turning that into many great memories of my hometown scene.